From the weather conditions to life in school and interacting with people and the language, today we're going to be talking about my first year in Romania. Let's get into it. In case you're new here, it's Andrea Unfiltered, and welcome to Miss Chanel. So, from the moment I came down from that plane, the very first thing I noticed was the weather. Just so you know, in Nigeria, you don't find thick jackets, and if you find a thick jacket, to you it might seem like it's thick, but when you leave the country and you get to a colder environment, you're gonna notice how light that jacket is. Like when I look at the jacket I came with today, I'm like, hell no. Did I really come with that? You won't really notice much in the airport or much in Bucharest. For me, that was where I landed in Henry Conda's airport. And in the airport there, like there are lots of people from different countries, so no one really cares, okay? You're just like everyone else, I guess. But once you leave Bucharest to somewhere like in a smaller city where I live in, yeah, you're gonna get stares. I mean, that first day I didn't really walk around, of course. I needed to rest to recharge, and then some days after, or the next day, I was strolling around and there were lots of stares from kids. And yeah, like I had braids on. As of that time, it was 2022. I know that braids like this are, kind of common in Romania, especially in the summertime. I came in spring. But it wasn't that common, and you would usually see knotless box braids around, and I was with cornrows, like those kind of stylish cornrows and a whole different color and all that. So yeah, I would say that one thing I did expect was, make finding it hard to make friends, and I never really bothered. I mean, when I came first, I was like, I'm just gonna let things flow very naturally. Like, it's just part of my nature that I am introverted, so it's either someone adopts me as their friend or it just flows naturally. But it's never my intention to really make friends. So what really happened was that most of the time I would be with my family and still get more stares. Um, One thing that was a barrier was definitely the language. I mean, that one is natural, okay? When I came, the only words I probably knew Romanian were bună, ce faci, mersi, mulțumesc, all that simple stuff, all that basics. Or maybe if someone is like Dwamna or Domnul, I know that, yeah, you're talking to somebody at least. All that basic stuff, not really to put together a sentence. And I was like on a Duolingo streak or something, which, as you can guess, probably didn't help a lot when it comes to putting words together and actually learning the language. Another thing that I really noticed that first year was probably the culture shock. Like there were a lot. Like how do I even start? Where do I even start, bro? First of all, in the supermarket, the whole thing, like the major difference between supermarkets in the US and the supermarkets in Europe. That was how it was for Nigeria versus Romania. Like over here, you have like products which are bought in bulks, and you can like take from there. You get it? But in Nigeria, it doesn't work that way. You could get arrested if corruption doesn't take place. So that was one shock. Another shock were the celebrations, the way of life. Like Romanians, for what I noticed, are huge on gift giving. Like if you're broke, the best option would be not really having friends, or at least have friends within your reach, because in this country, if you are broke and you have friends and they are really close friends, especially when they're the ones giving you presents and you feel like, yo, I'm not giving this person anything. I'll say that that has to do a lot more with peer pressure. So it just depends on how it gets to you. Another one would be the celebrations, like stuff like 1st of March, Martie, like when you give martishor or whatever to women. Yeah, stuff like that I didn't know exist. I remember just coming here and seeing a martishor, and I was like, what is this? And my dad was like, it's just a bracelet. You can have it. I didn't know what it was until Martie, and I got like the same kind of bracelets and saw everyone with it, and I was like, oh, so that was what that bracelet was about. So it was at that moment I knew that I found out. So apart from that, like there are lots of traditions, lots of suspicions, lots of things like I didn't expect to really be warned a lot of things. Like when I came, a lot of people were like, you have to be careful so they don't steal from you when you're out in public. And I think that is a huge ruiner for the Romanian people and the names. Like, I understand that there are cases. Personally, it's never happened to me. I don't know if that's just because I'm being careful, but if I know someone who's careless, it would definitely be me. One thing I actually struggled that first year as well was just kind of fitting in. Like, I'm talking about the style because back from, because where I came from, no one really cares what you wear. No one cares as of that time in 2022. No one cared if you really had fashion or not. Like, everyone was just going about their day. But I remember this whole day I wore the cringiest stuff I could think of. I wore a whole outfit, yellow on yellow, like yellow pants, yellow shirts, and I would like make weird combos like this and got looks. I think it was a phase for sure. It was a phase, but looking back now, yeah. Another thing, this one is mainly for the girlies. When I came, I struggled to find the perfect foundation and concealer. In fact, it was easier to find concealer for some reason, which I don't understand because concealer is supposed to be lighter. But for foundation, no. And I think it was from that foundation that I realized how huge the complexion difference was. Because, yeah, it was really, really hard to find like darker shades of concealer as of then and foundation. And that was why I actually stopped wearing foundation. Plus, the foundation wasn't good for my skin. But over the years, like I think from 2 years ago, I started seeing more of darker shades of concealer. And finally, that makes sense because I also see darker Romanians, which some of them are about my complexion. And no, I'm not talking about Romani people. I'm talking about people. So I need more shades. I need more shades, really, okay? And affordable shades, not something that I have to get from Fenty and costing over 100 lei. I know makeup is expensive, but yeah. Maybe this one might have actually been the biggest struggle, but school. School was one of them because I remember how I had to adopt with the differences in math. I think this one is also one of those things that you will compare between the US and Europe. Like when you have a decimal point, and over here, a decimal point is a comma, and the other way around. You get it? So I had to adjust with that. I had to adjust with the rules, like when you need to raise your hand up. I was used to raising just one finger or just your hand. And over here you have to raise two fingers, which I had to get used to it. Like I would raise my hand up and people would be like, "That's not how you raise your hand. You use two fingers." Like, am I trying to do the peace sign? I do not know. And literally the whole school stuff, like the grading, the the teachers understanding the way of writing, the cursive handwriting, like it was so much to digest. And I think these are also things that if anyone is planning to bring their child here to study should have in mind. Okay. As time went on, I did eventually have close friends. By close friends, I mean like two, at most two. I had friends like acquaintances, let's say, like just hi bye friends, but close friends I only had one or two in middle school. So in case you're wondering, this March, in a few weeks, actually in about a month from now, should make it 4 years since I've been in Romania. So hooray, I've survived. I've survived. Anyway, so far I think these are all the things I can think of for now. The major thing that I would say, like the major highlights of this video, of the things which I really struggled with during the first year, or my major experiences, were based on the weather, people, and school. Maybe a bit of the language, but I would say mostly school and the weather. Like, I still remember the first day I saw snow, and people would tell me that, don't worry, you're gonna get used to it, you're gonna hate it as time goes on. It's been almost 4 years, and I still feel really excited when I see snow like a little child. So, I don't know what y'all are talking about because I love snow. I've always loved snow. It's not something I grew up with, but I still find it really pretty, although it's hard to walk on, but still. So, for more videos like this on life in Romania, stay tuned. If you really enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. We're really close to 1,000 subscribers. See you.